Okay. I will be right back. Over. So I'm currently crashing in, I guess you would call it like an apartment, like a big housing area, and the boys are watching football. So if you hear loud screaming in the back, you know that sounds sketchy. Yes, a dorm, but it's not anything to worry about. With that said, I'm going to start detailing my findings, because I need to do that. First off, in the journal that I have, it's not really a journal, it's more of a notebook. Let me start from the beginning. I was on a case back in what I believe to be my dimension or my world. And I was told to go to this location because there was a thing that was terrorizing people. And I go there, and that night I encounter this thing, and it's like this weird glitchy, like in reality glitchy. I didn't have my camera on me, but it was a this weird entity, like this black figure that was just kind of phasing in and out of what seems like reality, like it was glitching. And I shot at it with this, and it did nothing. Bullet didn't even touch it, and it just like kind of fades off and then reappears, and it said something to me. I don't uh, I don't remember what it was actually, which is really weird. I recorded it. I know I recorded it somewhere in one of my audio logs. Let me pull that up. Actually, now that I think about it, my memory of that whole event's sort of dwindling, which is weird. I don't know. I'll get back to that. Shit, where are my audio files? Okay, whatever. Well, they didn't delete them because Amalgus made me record them. But anyway, I'll get to that. So I was like, "What are you?" to this black thing, and it grabs me with this weird black glitchy hand, and it looks me in the eyes with these weird glowing circles in its face, and it tells me it's Ruin. I would imagine that's spelled Ruin, unless it's like a fancy pants name. Like some of them are, and like has like symbols or something in it. I don't know, but to be fair, my list of entities that I have encountered and have been alerted of all come from this. That shit. Damn it. This. Um, And it ranges from these things that are called servants to these things that are called nightmares and voices and ferals and all these other things, which I'm not going to get into because I don't think, knock on wood, cross my fingers, I don't think they're in this world, which I would imagine you all are from, unless somehow my internet connects to all the internets, which would be pretty neat and very confusing. But yeah. See, in my world, I get things like this that I have to kill. There wasn't in one instance where somebody encountered this like line-looking thing, and then that's the only thing I could really relate it to, even though it's definitely 100% not that. But on the nightmare list I have, there's Sabbath, Goliath, something with its name crossed out. We got yeah, no, none of that's helping. Anyway, what I'm getting at is when it touched me, I woke up. And when I woke up, my phone wasn't working, my car wasn't around, and I went to a nearby gas station, which was there when I drove past it. So I knew it would be there. And none of my cards were working, which was weird. So that was my first hint that something was off. Then I tried to call one of my partners, Gustav. I tried to call him, and the call didn't work. Like, the number didn't work. So I attempted to call the other. I don't get into it a lot. There's two branches of the Recollective. There's mine, which is Salvos, and then there's another one, that's Magnus, that's run by this asshole. I don't, but I called him, and it didn't go through. So I'm just chilling, trying to figure out what's going on, and this like van pulls up, and they pull me in, and I wake up, and I'm in like this white room, and that's where my journey officially started. I'm being interviewed by these people known as Amalgus, and they're telling me I'm not from this world. Then I come to find out I really am not from this world. Like, this is not my dimension per se. And I get places like this fucking, like a foundation and all this other shit that I'm now pulled into, which isn't traditionally my line of work, but whatever. With that said, that's enough background information. This book came with me because I keep it with me at all times. The important thing about this book is the opening. And it lists a bunch of these strange-looking, badly drawn entities. And one of them was pierced by something. I imagine Amalgus did something, but they stabbed into my book. I don't want to remove the Band-Aid because it was bleeding pretty bad. But they stabbed into the book, and it pierced this top one. And unfortunately, I don't know specifically what that entity is, but as it turns out, I think it was sealed inside of my book. And now it's out. Now, I don't know what the entity is, but I know what these entities are. They're demigods. I guess you would call them. They're these things that shouldn't be released. They're very powerful entities. I don't have their names on file, but I believe I will eventually, because the thing is, after that piercing happened and the book got bloody and all this stuff, I started seeing pages that I didn't write, or I had never seen, the notes that I personally did not take. And one of them was a page on this thing called Inhumanity, which I sort of posted about on my Twitter. It's got type A, Inhumanity, is physical strength. Type E is reality bending / temporal travel. Type S is completely scratched out. And type plus or T, one of those two, is unknown. Now, as you can see here, ignore the blue stuff. The symbol, which was on the box that I received my journal back in, is present. And that's the last page that I can see. I haven't been successful in making any other pages appear, so that's on my waiting list of things to do. That brings me to my line of work yesterday. Hold up, I have notifications on Twitter. Foundation's trying to take down my stream. Oh, come on. Okay, I'm going to do this fast because apparently the Foundation doesn't like my stream. So, let's begin. Yesterday and a few days before yesterday, I was looking into this event, and it turns out that shortly after my book was pierced and the entity in it was quote-unquote released, an audio log was uploaded onto my Tumblr, which was created specifically so I could update my situation because Amalgus wanted me to do that, and that audio log revealed a entity that had attacked the base and caused a evacuation, which I was a part of, and you'll see in my first video, I believe, was when I was against the tree and bleeding, and Amalgus was attacked, and they were turning on each other and shooting at each other, and the Foundation got me. When I was in the Foundation, I was able to access my phone somehow. They didn't take my phone. I don't know why. It's it's right here, but they, I don't know. They were trying to interview me, and while I was waiting for this interview, this account on Twitter, lo and behold, contacted me saying all this shit, and the next 3 hours of my life was escaping this maximum security Foundation, doing fucking yoga, running from barbed wire spiders, a giant lizard. But I handled it professionally and casually. And when I got out, which you can actually see on, I think, my last video, when I got out, I ended up in the woods. So I'm running down that stream. I'm trying to get out of there. And there's this weird headache that hits me. When it does, I fall out of what looked like a fucking portal. Now, this Twitter account that's been helping me too and doing all this weird supernatural stuff and has some sort of advanced supernatural knowledge tells me they didn't have anything to do with that portal. Weird. But anyway, here's the thing, is because I'm starting to think that what happens in that case is that I was, according to Omega, whatever I have is my world's radiance or something like that. So I tried it, and what I was basically able to do and what I personally am able to do from what I know about my capabilities in here with this inhumanity page is apparently it. That's the thing is if I release this, then basically it's like this energy is going to take over and it's probably going to break my computer. So I can't exactly do that kind of channeling, and that's unfortunate. But as long as I just hold it and I keep everything kind of stable, which is difficult because I don't have the soundest mind. But if I keep it stable long enough for this energy to kind of just sit here, I can put it back in the lamp. And that's kind of the worst part though is like I can't if I show it directly, it could burn out my camera, which it's done before. It's one of the reasons I actually can't normally film it. And I also have to hold the lamp too, because the energy hitting it might blow it back, and that's unfortunate. I don't want to break this dude's lamp. But that's essentially the ins and outs of this situation. Um, Hold up. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. I'm gonna do this next part very fast because I probably need to. For those of you that are watching, yesterday and the day before that, I came in contact with a person named Dana, Dana Ellis, who was looking into the same case I was doing, which was really cool because that means there's other people in this world that are kind of doing things that I'm doing. And I also met this other person who I believe goes by Alex, and I'll get into them later. But basically, I have to create a new team here in this world because, as it turns out, things are out to get me like always because I'm fucking cursed. Literally, no, I was cursed by a witch. But the problem at hand is that and I'm probably in a lot of danger right now, actually. So, give me 1 second. Let's see how we're going to continue this. So could I bring blinking red light? Why is my webcam doing that? That's not normal. Alrighty. I'm gonna probably have to move because if the foundation knows that I'm streaming, I am not very safe. And while I do have bullets and the power to break a lamp, well, they have lots of bullets and the power to break my bones, and I don't like that. So I will update you all on Twitter with a fix of this situation. Okay, time to go.